My name is Erick Daniel Coughlin, and I am a walking, living, breathing ESPN radio, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is my self-produced, self-proclaimed podcast, just my thoughts, and you can't teach that. Want the truth? This is all I want to do. Let's get started. Today's thought tracker is obviously the NBA playoffs. The playoff bracket's set. Everyone, as of right now, should have 2 games left on schedule. And playoffs start next weekend. So, that being said, as it sits, the Chicago Bulls are coming in as the 10th spot. That's the lowest spot you can come in. It's a play-in situation. You got to play to win. 1 game in and out. They got Toronto Raptors coming in number 1. I mean, the first matchup, that's what I meant by when I said coming in number 1. Toronto's 9th. We're 10th. I see that game going to be a landslide, 116-96 Chicago Bulls, showing that they've been messing around all year long trying to figure stuff out, but now they finally got it. So, like I said, landslide, 116-96. Moving on to the next matchup, which would be Atlanta Hawks. It's really not in paper that it's the Atlanta Hawks. It's really my mind telling me it's the Atlanta Hawks. The way it works out is the Hawks have to play the Heat for position of 7. So, it's like a play-in game. So, it's a 1-game, one-and-done situation, Miami versus the Heat. I just see Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo being a better team than I see DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, who's only played together just 1 year. So, that being said, again, the Bulls will be playing the Hawks for the 8th and final spot, and I see that being a pretty tight game. Here's the thing: we split, right? We're 2-2 in Atlanta this year, but technically we should be 3-1. Atlanta really only beat us once, which was like last week or maybe a couple weeks ago at home. We dropped it. We shouldn't have dropped it. Actually, it was probably last week, but it went 2 weeks ago. It was like literally 3 games ago. Really important game that we let go by. But here's the thing: the other game that they won with a half a second left on the court. They just threw it in as an inbound for an alley-oop play. Dude misses the alley-oop, but kind of makes contact, kind of tips it in. It goes in, and we lose by a buzzer beater. So I think that's not going to happen. I also don't think that they're even going to lead at all. We're coming in at the 10th spot. We got more to prove than anybody, not just because we're the 10th spot, but because of the superstars that we have. Really, if you look at us, DeMar DeRozan's the only one that made All-Star, but man, we have 3 All-Star starters. It is what it is. Zach LaVine deserves to be an All-Star. Is an All-Star. Is a superstar. Zach LaVine. Nikola Vucevic is the same thing. Nikola Vucevic, like I've been telling you guys all year, if you've been paying attention, Nikola Vucevic is 3rd in NBA in double-doubles. He's a walk-in, come-in, going to score, going to rebound guy. He's a superstar, All-Star. So, like I said, we've got more to prove than just being the 10th seed. We got legacy to prove, too. So, the Atlanta game, I see that being tight until the end. DeMar DeRozan is going to get hot late in the 4th quarter. I see that 111-104 Chicago, and that puts us and locks us into the 8th seed where everyone's playoffs really begin. So, that will put us against, if you've already been checking out the standings, it'll be Milwaukee Bucks. So, it'll be war, right? This is the reason. This is many reasons why this is war. First of all, Milwaukee Bucks beat us last year in 5 games. They treated us like we didn't even deserve to be in, so that was kind of embarrassing. Number 2, they just whipped us pretty good without their best player, so that's going to be hot on our minds. And they kind of locked down DeMar DeRozan, so he's going to want his revenge on that. And number 3, this is division. This is more than just playoff basketball. This is like divisional rights basketball. Forever and ever and ever, Chicago reigned supremacy with the division, and Milwaukee for a long time was pretty much trash, except for about the last 5-6 seasons. They kind of turned it around. Having Giannis does that. Not just Giannis. These guys are serious. Chris Middleton's been on that team for like 8 years. Chris Middleton's probably their 3rd best player. Brook Lopez has been on their team for about the last 4 years. Brook Lopez is a very solid guy. Everyone knows that. Drew Holiday, they picked up a couple of years ago. This is only like his 3rd year on the team. But if you've been watching Drew Holiday and watching NBA basketball, it doesn't matter whose team he's on. That dude can shoot, and he can shoot it well. So this is, like I said, it's going to be war. But this is what I see happening. Going all the way down 7 games. I see about 9 seconds left. DeMar bringing up the court. And then Giannis trying to be Superman that Giannis always wants to do. And DeMar DeRozan being an expert foul drawer. is what's going to happen. He's going to go in. Giannis is not even hardly going to touch him. He's going to sell it, throw it, win at the line. Game 7, 114, 115. The 8th seed just beat the 1st seed. How you doing, Chicago Bulls? Moving on forward. Sounding crazy, but again, this is just my thoughts. So how you doing on that? Moving forward to 2nd round, we would be facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're like, well, it's not even locked in. Yeah, no, it's not locked in. So Cleveland is going to be playing New York. They're battling at the middle spot to see who's going to take position. It's obviously going to be Cleveland. This is the reason why Jerry Jack's been on that team for 4 or 5 years now. Donovan Mitchell is the new addition, but here's the thing. He's so good, he fits in anywhere, right? So you can't argue that. And then Evan Mobley's figuring out his feet. He's getting hot. He's young. He can rebound. He can score. He can do a lot of things. Cleveland Cavaliers is obviously the better team. They're better than New York Knicks, so that's why I say that we're going to be having to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here's the reason. Another thing that's good, I would prefer, believe it or not, this is going to sound crazy because Cleveland's better than New York, but I would prefer to play Cleveland over New York. Why? Again, division. This is battle for division. This is not just battle for playoffs. The Chicago Bulls, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Milwaukee Bucks all are in the same division. So knowing them, knowing that we play them all year long, seeing how they play, and knowing that if you had to choose who was going to win one-on-one, Zach LaVine or Donovan Mitchell, the question is, I don't know. Okay, so then you ask the same question, who do they got that's going to stop DeMar? Nobody, right? So that means we actually have the leg up. We have the pitch up. And then here's the thing, too. He's a secret weapon that we hardly use, but in situations all year, he's had really great games. And I'm talking about Andre Drummond. So when Andre Drummond comes on the court, who you think Evan Mobley is going to stop him? No, it takes 2 Evan Mobleys to stop a guy like, Andre Drummond. So earlier in the year, he played 24 minutes. He scored 24 points, and he had 18 rebounds. So he doesn't get that much playing time. In the playoffs, he might only get about 16 minutes. But just think about if he comes in about middle of the 2nd and he don't come off to about middle of the 3rd, you give him pretty much a solid quarter to just chew down that paint. He's going to be a secret weapon. He's also the reason why we have a leg up. So listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that the Chicago Bulls beat Cleveland faster than they beat Milwaukee because now they're feeling confident. They're feeling strong. We beat them in 6 games, and we move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Who are we going to play? Here's what I think we're going to play. Obviously going to play Boston, right? So this has been the thing all year. So when you looked at the East all year, you knew Miami was pretty good. You knew Milwaukee was pretty good. You knew Boston was, dominant. And then you knew that the Bulls kept on losing way too many games. And I've been saying this too. What happens when we stop losing those games? Now it's in the playoffs. Now that happens. Now we're not losing those games. I say we go to the Eastern Conference Finals versus Boston. And it's going to take 7 games. And it's going to be something crazy like it's going to boil down to who wants it more between Jason Tatum and Zach LaVine. But I think the difference is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been like button heads on whose team this is. Instead of they're not buying into it's our team. They're trying to buy into this is Jason Tatum's team. And I think Jaylen Brown's kind of fed up for it. So, you get Patrick Beverley in a guy like Jaylen Brown and you just wear him down, get in his head, play physical, play aggressive, play, just talk, trash talk, just get in the guy's head, throw him off of his game. Jason Tatum cannot beat an entire basketball team by himself. So in 7 games, the Chicago Bulls shocked the world as the 10th seed all the way to the NBA Finals. If you smell what my thoughts are cooking, how you doing? So then now you could break it down to the West, right? So you're like, who's going to win the West? It's not even a question. Golden State Warriors, it's in their name. Their name says it all. They're Warriors. This is what they do. They shoot the 3 ball better than anybody in the league. And that they got 3 or 4 guys that are going to continuously do it. You can't stop Steph. Everybody knows that. And then you can't stop Clay. And everybody knows that. And here's what not everybody knows. They just got Andrew Wiggins back, and not a lot of people can stop him either. So it's like they talk about a double-edged sword. It's like a double-edged sword with another sword attached right through the middle, almost like a sai, the size of like, I don't know, Aragon's sword. If you know anything about Lord of the Rings, that sword Aragon's got, try having three of them out at the same time. That's pretty much what Golden State Warriors are going to throw at you. It's going to be pretty entertaining, though. They're going to have a tough matchup because this is what I see happening. I see at the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers. What? The Lakers? Yeah, I know. The Lakers have played pretty rough all year, except for about the last 2 weeks. If you've been following, paying attention to basketball, AD is serious, and LeBron's back too. So them two alone they're gonna make a lot of noise. I said that already once. I'm saying it again because it's true. Western Conference Finals. Who's going to be in the championship? It will be between the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. But again, I choose the Warriors. And until that team breaks up, until there's no longer Steph and Clay, I'm going to pick those guys all day. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm not trying to rhyme. It just kind of happens. And when you talk about them, Steph comes first, so Clay comes second. And I don't think that ever matter. It's all egos aside. They don't even care. Here's the thing: that they get on TV, they laugh, they joke, they smile. They look like they're just these great, nice guys, but these guys are cold as ice. They're going to cut you down every way that they can. They're going to laugh about it on the court. They're going to laugh at you. Off the court, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to get on the cameras and they're going to smile about how easy it was to shoot the three ball. And until someone figures out a recipe to stop it, it's never going to end. So, in the championship, Chicago Bulls, Golden State Warriors, 5 games. I say it's going to be very electric. I think the Bulls are going to be like, oh my God, this is so surreal. And they're going to go out there and steal game one. But then the confidence kicks in, overdrive. They're not really going to be thinking about where they're at. It's like fantasy land to them. And the Golden State Warriors, it's like, this is just another basketball game. This is what we do. We're here all the damn time. Beat us again. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to try. We're going to try. And we're going to lose in 5 games, just like we did last year against Milwaukee, except for this time, it will be to the Golden State Warriors. So kudos to the Bulls for pulling their heads out of their butts, in my opinion, thinking they have the absolute possibility to make it all the way to the championship is a completely legitimate possibility. It could happen, hoping that it does, rooting that it does, claiming that it will. But like I said, I don't think there's nobody on the planet that can beat Golden State Warriors. So that being said, it's just a sad, sad, sad thing for the NBA to have to keep on getting beat by Stephen Clay. Now, if you like what you see and you like what you heard, always feel free, cash at me, #Coughlin Pride, Erick Coughlin. Have a nice day.